I am unlike any life form you have encountered before.
I have an ultimate storage capacity of 800 quadrillion bits. My total linear computational speed has been rated at 60 trillion operations per second.
My upper spinal support is a polyalloy designed to withstand extreme stress. My skull is composed of cortinide and uranium.
My power cells continually recharge themselves. My legs are exactly 87.2 centimeters in length. They were 87.2 centimeters the day I was created. They will be 87.2 centimeters the day I go offline. My operation depends on specifications that do not change. I aspire to be more than I am.
Greetings. In this video we're going to be taking a good look at the new 1:6 scale figure of Lieutenant Commander Data by EXO, and be sure to stick around to the end of the video as I'll be putting some full screen 4K glory shots of the figure up for you to see. Now if this is your first contact with us, welcome aboard. My name's Carl Bromley and this is the Trekkie's Guide to the Galaxy. Now I'd like to make it clear from the start that this video is purely my own opinions. I purchased this figure out of my own pocket and I don't have any association with EXO. That being said, if the good folks responsible for this stunning figure would like me to review their future releases, I'd be happy to do so. I can be contacted on carl@trekkiesguide.com, that's Carl, C-A-R-L, at trekkiesguide.com. Just saying. Right, let's not waste any time. Computer, request security clearance and access to EXO Lieutenant Commander Data Summary.
Accessing library computer data. Security authorization accepted.
So I've got a fairly big Star Trek collection, but if there's one thing I've never really added to it, it's scale figures. Now Data has always been one of my favourite characters throughout all of Star Trek, so when I first saw the promos for this figure, I instantly put my deposit down. And it's a good job I did, because these things sold out at warp speed. EXO is a new company, but if any of you remember the quantum mechanics figures, I believe several of the same people are involved, bringing with them their experience and expertise. So why have EXO decided to start with this particular figure? Well, this year marks the 25th anniversary of the release of Star Trek First Contact, and Data plays a huge part in that film. He has some of the most iconic and memorable moments throughout the whole movie, so I think it's a fantastic choice for their premiere release. EXO have stated that they're going to release several figures from the First Contact movie, and indeed they've just announced the release of their next figure, Jean-Luc Picard. And personally, I can't wait for the Borg Queen. Now this figure is not a cheap toy. It's going to set you back about £180 including postage. It's a proper display piece, and this is immediately evident with the packaging. First impressions are everything, especially with a new company like EXO, and your first impression when you receive this is one of quality. The packaging, and indeed the way the figure itself is packed, just goes to show the care that's been taken over this product. The design of the box is modern and stylish, with some great images including a really cool First Contact 25th anniversary logo. And one thing that strikes me straight away is that the colours used mimic those of the Starfleet uniforms that were introduced in First Contact. There's some info about the makers of the figure and also a scannable QR code which directs you to an online instruction manual with directions on how to pose your new figure with all its accessories. And here it is, straight out of the box and onto its stand, and it looks absolutely stunning. Now we'll get zoomed in and look at some of the fine detail in a moment, but first, let's just go through what you get in the box. So you get the Type 3B phaser rifle that was newly designed for this movie, along with the Type 2 handheld phaser and the TR-590 tricorder. Again, both of those got a refreshed design for First Contact, and both come with a holster that magnetically attaches to the main figure at the waist. Now the detail and crafting on these accessories is brilliant. It'd be very easy to skip on the detail with the props and purely focus on the figure, so well done to EXO for your attention to detail. You can even open and close the tricorder, although do make sure you're careful when doing this, as the flip out part is held in place with a small magnet and can detach fully. You wouldn't want it to slip off and get lost. To go along with the accessories, you get in total 4 interchangeable pairs of hands, again with great level of detail, which allow you to put the figure into a variety of poses. And where necessary, the fingers are bendable, enabling you to easily attach the required accessory. Now I do have a slight niggle here, and it's only slight. When you pose your figure with something like the phaser rifle, because the uniform is such a good fit, the forearm of the figure is visible, and unfortunately it's not the same colour as the hands. Like I said, it's only a small point and certainly nothing I'm going to lose sleep over. While we're on the subject of the uniform, wow, how good a job have EXO 6 done with this. Never mind that it genuinely looks like a mini movie uniform, you'd expect that, but again the level of detail is excellent. The stitches are real stitches, it's not a printed fabric, and the fit of it to the figure is superb. You get a stand which comes with a double-sided base, meaning you can have Data stand on a single transporter pad or as part of what looks like a larger transporter pad if you link it with future releases. And as much as it may have increased the cost a little, I do think if there was ever a base calling out to be LED lit, this was it. You may have missed a trick there, EXO 6. Now, let's take a look at what's really important, the likeness to Data himself. And I don't think anyone can argue with the sculptors on this project. They've really captured the likeness to Brent Spiner from the mid-90s. I was always going to be hard to please in this department. Like I said, Data is one of my favourite characters, and First Contact was the first Star Trek movie I ever saw in a cinema, so it will always have a special place in my heart. But I am well and truly satisfied with this, as well I should be. As I understand it, all of the EXO 6 figures have had the likenesses approved by the actors themselves. But it's not just the likeness that makes this figure so pleasing to look at. The attention to detail that's gone into this, right down to the colour of the skin, is brilliant. If I had to pick out one thing that I don't think is quite right, it would be the hair. It's not quite got the same level of detail, and I think the colour and sheen are slightly off. Now, alongside Data's standard head, you also get the pièce de résistance, the iconic skin-grafted head from the movie's showdown in main engineering. And once again, wow, just wow. Look at how they've not just got the skin tone and the eye colour right, the hairstyle is also better on this head, as they've got the distinctly different style on the side of the skin graft. It's simply stunning, and it's definitely the head you'll be having on this figure the majority of the time to show it off. Now, I do think another thing that maybe could have been added was Data's skin-grafted arm. It would have looked awesome when you got this head attached. But again, it's definitely not a deal breaker. Now, I'm not going to go into how you do the poses of the figure much, as you can get the instructions on how to do that. Other than to say that this figure is articulated at all the joints you would expect and is extremely well weighted, making it very easy to strike your preferred pose. So, to summarise, this is an absolutely stunning figure, and if you didn't manage to get hold of one in the first run, then I really hope they do another, because this is an absolute must-have for anyone who's a fan of Data or Star Trek First Contact, and we're going to give EXO 6's Lieutenant Commander Data First Contact Edition a warp factor rating of 8. Well, thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this figure, so please drop those in the comments down below. Also, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell for notifications so that you never miss a video. And until next time, set a course for home. Warp 8. Engage.